just mentioned there is very important. So this is something
This works.
you can just pop it down on the
Cool.
So what I've learned is when you talk about, and this is just very simplistic neuroscience, right? Is if you think about like dogs and humans, we're both mammals. However, we have a extra bit in our brain that gives us language. Okay. Now here's the thing. The way a lot of people talk about it, some people in the horse industry that I met in South Africa used to say to me, a horse has a thinking brain and a reactive brain.
Yeah.
Okay, all they meant was one is the neocortex, which is our logic and language and rationality. And then we have the limbic system, which is our reactive brain. So this is the fight-flight emotion. Here's the problem. It's hard to connect and put emotion and all these things into words, into language. Okay, so when we talk about value systems, and what I like about Simon Sinek is he says values shouldn't be nouns, they should be actions, right? Verbs. So it's not honesty, it's tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah.
I like that. When you look at people, now what happened to me in 2019 is I was working in a board and train kennel. Management shifted because our previous manager had to go back to Ireland for whatever reasons, with visas and all that. And it was over a period of time, there was a couple of things that happened in between. I got a workers' comp injury and all this sort of stuff. One of my teammates who I've worked with for quite some time, we've always had a bit of a conflict. Right? What then happened was the environment started changing because the value system of leadership gets reflected down. Okay? And I'm not saying anything bad about this person.
Of course.
There's a difference between knowing how to do the job and knowing how to lead. I am not a leader. I love being a beta. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to a lot of misunderstandings, high pressure situations, whatever you want to say, myself included, made some bad decisions. So what then happened was I actually went to my manager, this was on a Wednesday, and I spoke to her and I said, my mom and my therapist told me to tell you I am suicidal and I need your help. Okay. That Friday, I got my very first disciplinary hearing letter.
Yeah.
Okay. It escalated very quickly, and I got super depressed.
Yeah.
I had a return to work program with a particular lady, and she actually removed me from the environment and put me in a completely different company, like a little nursery. All I did was weeding and plants.
Cute.
Within 6 weeks, I was better mentally. And then I realized what happened. So this is extremely simplistic, I know that, and it's obviously just my point of view.
Yeah.
The value systems we had were not compatible. Okay. So if you don't know, and this is where we go through teenagers, right? We kind of figure out how to put in language our value systems and that. Unfortunately, teenagers do not create safe environments for teenagers.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
So the problem was that because of my value systems that don't look compatible, and I tell the truth, and I'm transparent, and I'm autistic, so I miss social cues, which we didn't know at this time. Okay, I know who I am. Okay, but the people around me didn't have a label for, this is tomato sauce or salt and pepper, right? Okay. So they handle it the way they handle when they're under high stress. Whatever. So for example, I had this lovely lady, right? She was so good. She was under so much pressure. She was pregnant. And one day I asked her a question and she bit my head off. And I knew straight away that this is out of character. So I said to her, how can I help?
Yeah.
Okay. That afternoon, she was willing to come to me and become vulnerable and apologize and tell me she's so sorry she's been under stress. And I said, you know what? I know because I've seen it, but I'm really grateful for you apologizing.
Yeah.
That made me and her a lot stronger in our relationship. So I can give them space to be human.
Yeah.
But they cannot give me space to be human.
Yeah.
I was also accused of being a bully. By a particular team member.
Yeah.
I'm not a bully.
No.
I've been bullied.
Yes.
But I'm not a
We
bully.
know how that feels.
We know how that feels. And it's something that's quite close to my core.
Yes. Me too. Yes.
And something I struggle with quite a bit. not to step in and become aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
but rather assertive.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to communicate to you is the control you have in your life. And this taken me about 8 months with this particular friend of mine who's been teaching me. And she just keeps teaching me, right? And she's
I feel like you're teaching me now. Yeah,
this
yeah,
is what we do
yeah,
in
yeah.
class on education was your control is you control the amount of time that you give to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you the hardest lesson in a dog training capacity I learned from one of my other mentors, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
He is amazing. And he said, a dog trainer can help as many people as they can, not everybody.
Mm.
So you being an advocate for number one, if you don't protect your personal space and boundaries, you'll be less able to help people in the future, right? So that's one.
Yeah.
Two, being able to communicate to people and say, you know what, we have a value system clash or personality clash, however you would like to word it, I do not want to move forward. And then go from there. And it's so hard, right? Because you're like, well, how do I, like, do you stay with the devil you know or do you go to the unknown?
Yep.
That's
what I'm in right now. Yeah.
Correct. So the journey.
But change as well as like an autistic person is so hard. Yeah. We'd rather just continue on it instead of
There's
going
a
through that.
concept called no man's land. So they say, I can't remember who said this, but they talk about someone's unhappy enough to complain, like, but they're not that unhappy to do anything about it. And when you're comfortable, that's usually what happens. So you're a bit uncomfortable, but you're still comfortable because you're still safe. Like,
Yeah.
So
Still safe and like supported. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And because we have so many people, like how many millions of people are in Perth? Right? That's actually a really big tribe. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should have smaller tribes so that we can help and be, because if you're more relaxed in your normal life, you can take the stresses of life. You can take the unfairness of life. You can deal with natural disasters. You can even deal with people who consciously make decisions to hurt you and be like, right, well, now I'm going to take responsibility for my response. Me talking about I've reacted really badly in a few situations. And I know that, but you know what? There was no right or wrong.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and the fact of the matter is, learning skills like how to get angry, you know, and how to express it, and being like, well, this is how far we go, and that's it.
Yeah.
People not treating people like people in work is another one. You have these people who are supposed to support you. Someone's forcing gratitude on you. Your gratitude is your decision what to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Not theirs.
Yeah.
Someone forces that, right? That's narcissistic. You shouldn't. I would remove that out of your life because you don't need it. You already have other things you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Having that extra thing on top is just silly. The last straw that breaks the camel's back. The problem comes in with, what do I do then? Okay, that's where someone like me comes in. My friends, my network support. My job is not to support every single person I meet, but sometimes pointing them to someone else.
Yeah.
You could maybe point them to someone else.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so through the guidance of God, because I'm a Christian, I ended up with a person who, by the second lesson, they were like, you know, you're one of us, right? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. And since then, I've found my tribe. I've found people with similar and compatible value systems that can understand, treat me like a human, and we forgive.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. I forgive people when they ask me.
Yeah.
And I am honest when someone asks me a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's like two of my main value
Yeah.
systems. Here's the problem. Let's say both of us have honesty, like both of us tell the truth, but you're someone who will forgive, but I'm not. We will never get along because I will always keep things against you for as long as we're in a relationship, whether that's professional or friends or whatever. That's called non-compatible value system.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, yeah.
So when we talk about dog training, for example, that's the same thing. There are some people where I have incompatible value systems and therefore I cannot work with them. Okay, and I won't. Do I feel bad for the dog? Of course I do. But why would I spend, and there's, again, Simon says, how much are you willing to pay for the money you make?
Yeah.
Okay, as a business owner. Here's the thing. He's not talking just about money. He's talking
I
about
was going to
sleep,
say, like
psychology,
feeling as well.
feeling,
How much
worry.
are you willing to put
And
on
it's
yourself?
the same for you. So my question to you would be, how much are you willing to pay to reach your goal? with your support team.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's this conflict, right, then we have a problem. Because that's making life harder. And it's the same with having an assistance dog, for example. Some people go, no, assistance dog is the solution. And then you start going through some of these barriers. And it's like, does it make your life easier or not? If the answer is no, then you should think twice.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened to me. I trained my own dog, Daryl, with PTSD Dogs Australia.
Such a good name.
And
Yeah.
then I think it was about 8 months in, and then I realised, and I thought, I don't actually need an assistance dog. I need a dog at home that I can be with and can help me decompress from life.
Yeah.
So then I have the resources to deal with external stresses.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not going to get away from that. I'm sorry, that is delusional. However, I do know another guy that says, I can't convince people, but reality can. So whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you want to argue, it's like gravity. Doesn't matter if you believe it or not, it's going to affect you. And that's the same concept. So that's what I'm trying to convey to you. And sometimes people need someone to advocate for them.
Yeah.
But then I need to know what I'm advocating
Exactly.
for.
Yeah.
So that communication is very important. So if one of my other clients who's non-verbal, she cannot move at all since birth,
Yeah.
I make sure I'm
I
going to
remember,
take training.
yeah.
I'm going to do training in a particular portal of hers to learn how to communicate with
Yeah, communication devices and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what she wants and thinks, right? Not what someone interprets she thinks or wants. But there's always going to be miscommunication. You can't read my mind and I can't read yours. It's just
Would
the
be
way
so much easier if we could.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, it would be quite detrimental.
You know what? It's that comment that people make and they say, oh, glad we're all so different. Can you imagine how boring it would be if we were the same? And me with my brain goes, how'd you know you'd be the same? You wouldn't know, so should be fine.
That's deep, yeah.
It's deep.